What's going on, guys? Here's a few things in a one-take video that are weird about living in the desert heat that you never thought you would have to experience. Action.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
So what's going on, folks? My name is Steven and I am not leaving Las Vegas, a full-time Vegas resident. I moved here from Calgary, Canada, where it does not get as hot as it does in Vegas. So there are a few things that struck me as strange about when I moved into the heat. If you guys like Vegas, do me a favor. If you want to see more Vegas videos, click the little subscribe button, hit the bell, leave a comment and a like. That helps grow the channel without you paying a penny and me not begging you for Patreon dollars. All right, so you're in the desert heat. What are some weird things about this place? Number one weird thing about this place: cell phones stop charging. Yeah, that's what happens. So because of battery technology especially, we know that there's been exploding phones in the past. The personal phone I'm using and filming this on is a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, and the battery will stop charging. What'll happen is it'll get too hot. It doesn't matter if it's in your pocket, it doesn't matter if it's in your car, and it'll just stop charging altogether. You can't charge your battery. Most phones have a fail-safe circuit inside of them and a temperature sensor, and you'll get this nasty little message telling you that your phone won't charge until you cool it down. The best thing that I found is to buy on Amazon, and I'll provide you guys a link. It's an affiliate link. If you buy it, I get a few pennies. The best thing is to buy a thing that attaches to your vents or to your CD player if you're not using it, and then turn on your air conditioning and put your phone on that little contraption, and that way you have air conditioning blowing on your phone. It'll charge a lot faster when you're coming into the hot car. The second thing that I found that is weird about living in the desert is you're gonna run your air conditioning 24/7 all the time in the summertime. There's nothing that you can get away with. It doesn't matter how much you wanna save and conserve energy, because you're gonna run your air conditioning. People try all sorts of different tactics. They try things like, I'm just gonna close all my blinds. I'm just gonna make sure I put blackout curtains on my windows. It doesn't matter, the heat's gonna get to your house. Before you know it, it's 85, 90 degrees in your house. You're begging to turn on your air conditioning. Then also, at nighttime, the coolest it gets sometimes is 85 degrees. So your house doesn't cool down the way you think it would. I mean, this only lasts a few months, but it sure is a challenge, especially if you're a low-income resident and you don't have the money to run your air conditioning all the time. The next thing that is challenging about living in the desert goes back to battery technology. If you have a car, if you drive a car, you better get the warranty on your battery. Go to AutoZone, buy the warranty. The reason is simple. Your battery will die faster in the desert. I've had several car batteries in the last few years. They always seem to die out and stop working properly right before the warranty expires. So you can always go in and get a really cheap battery under the warranty program, but it has to do a lot with the heat and just how crazy it is to be living in this desert and running your car. Now, usually your battery doesn't get that hot. It's not there near the main engine compartment, but it doesn't really matter, because when it's 135 degrees on the top of your car, and I've tested this with a meat thermometer, put a digital meat thermometer right on the hood of the car. Silver car reads 135 degrees Fahrenheit. That's gonna just take a toll on the battery. What else can I say about living in the desert heat in one take? Another thing is phones, cameras, technology. They tend to not like the heat. I'm using my image stabilization so you're not seeing a giant bounciness, but if it was hot and I was walking in the sun, eventually two things happen. Your camera tells you you can't record anymore because it's too hot. The second thing is, well, the first thing to go is actually your optical image stabilization. Bounces around, looks like it's drunk, looks like it's on some kind of weird hallucinogenic drug. Can't use optical image stabilization. 4K image sensors on small devices like cameras and mirrorless SLRs, forget about it. They overheat to start with. Most of these devices only record about 10 minutes of 4K video, depending on the model type, but these things will completely die on you in the desert, and they will overheat because of how much data they have to process, and that's just the way that works. So it's really weird when your camera tells you it can't function, and then you can't charge your battery, so you have to duck into a place where there's some air conditioning and hope that you can get your phone into a cool place. Hey, maybe you have a waterproof phone, you can put it into a cup of ice water, huh? So there's some observations about living in the desert that I never thought I would ever experience. Oh, one last observation. Everything in the desert doesn't belong in the desert. All the plants that you see behind me right here, they all have irrigation running to them. It's an elaborate system of hoses and tubes. Even these things that are in pots right now have hoses going from the bottom to them. They're all in a watering system. And since they're just desert plants, and they're all cactuses or succulent types, they don't require a whole lot of water, but you still have to drip feed them water all throughout the summertime. And a lot of time in the wintertime, you hardly have to water these things whatsoever. As a matter of fact, there's like a watering restriction here. If you water things incorrectly here, you're in big trouble because the water district will come and get you. They run a campaign every single year. Those are some things I observed about living in the desert. I'm Steven, I am not leaving Las Vegas. If you like this video, you're just browsing through, click the little like button, click subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I do new videos. If you have a question about Vegas, be sure to sound off in the comments. I'll do my best to answer you in a video or in a comment because I reply to all my comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, sharing. This somewhere helps us grow. Be a local Las Vegan with me, won't you? Bye-bye.